All right, so we're going to talk about this more of the same. According to Kevin Gray, he got some information of what Stephen Jones had to say about the 2025 year. It's going to be more of the same of 2024 year as it relates to what they did in the free agency. Let's listen to my guy. Shout out to Kevin Gray. Be sure to check him out on the X app and as well as all of the platforms he's on. But listen to what he had to say.
So Stephen Jones says to get ready for 2025 to be a lot like 2024 when it comes to the Cowboys and free agency. Now, if you remember what happened with the Cowboys in free agency, they didn't hardly do anything. They brought back Zeke, signed Eric Kendricks. That's about it for free agency. They did, of course, sign Dak Prescott to his contract at the 11th hour. They did get CeeDee Lamb's contract done. So if 2024 is going to be a lot like 2025, or if 2025, whatever.
Right.
It's all sound like it's going to be bad anyway. They're going to sign Micah Parsons to his mega contract, probably make him the highest paid defensive player in the history of the game, and then not do anything else. And you think a new head coach will want to walk into any of this? It's more likely now than ever that Mike McCarthy's coming back as head coach of this team. Whether you like him or hate him or whatever, Jerry Jones is in his mid-80s, or I should say his early 80s at this point. He ain't got time to go with somebody new to try to figure them out. He didn't have time.
Don't have time.
And now the Cowboys' financial situation will be just as bad, according to Steven, as it was this year. Which is funny because the Cowboys could do whatever they want to do when it comes to cap manipulation, to be able to move stuff around, to create the requisite cap room, to be able to be a player in free agency. But they don't want to do that. So this isn't a 1 year thing. This is about to be a 2 year thing.
Jeez.
I look, man, just like you, I'm a Cowboys fan. I can't quit the narcotic. But this ish right here.
This right here.
Nah, man.
And what it is, man.
That's where the guts went. Just dropped.
It's incompetency, it's giving us the I don't know what I'm doing type of situation. You see, the Cowboys like to paint this picture or to make everybody believe that all of the teams have these issues. But when you don't know how to handle the money, this is what you're seeing. A team that don't know how to handle the money, and it leans on the aspect of these players supposedly take pay cuts, right? But we look across the league, and it is what it is. Quarterbacks get paid high dollar amount, right? Quarterbacks get paid typically $250 million, right? Wide receivers, they're going to start making anywhere between $30 to $35 million APY. That's just the way it is. Running backs, they're not going to get paid that much, but they're going to typically get paid $12 to $17 million APY. DBs, they're going to get paid $25 to maybe $30 million. So you're going to have to work the cap. You're going to have to really not have it too top heavy to be only the draft. No, you're going to have to mix in acquisitions of, dare I say, just like these type of things. Free agency. All of the teams that made it to the Super Bowl and won it all, they had major moves in the free agency. They are able to also draft pretty well. Now, the pathway to $100 million, this is something that Tom Donnie, he put out there when Stephen Jones tried to tell us or tell Cowboy fans the lies about the cap. These are things that they can do, and he have it written down. Basically, the current cap space is $23 million. You can save, Dak saving is $36 million. CeeDee Lamb is $20 million. Diggs restructuring can free up about $6 million. You can literally cut Steele, right? And I'm not saying that Steele is the issue here, but you will save anywhere between $14 or $9 million. Safeties you can cut, and you can, there's strong cuts, right? $8 million. Then you can extend Michael Parsons to a $15 million, totaling out of 122. But what the Cowboys ultimately do is that they will paint the narrative that these players are selfish, they are greedy, that's all about the money, and they are not worth, or they say that we can't pay this person because we're willing to wait to pay this person, right? And all of the money that we have now is earmarked for the future. But this paints also the storyline that they just don't know how to handle the money because they refuse. They're running this thing like a mom and pop store or business, basically, and they are not going out there and hiring the people with the brightest and the greatest minds, right? Now, just like with Bill Belichick, I'm not saying that he would have been able to fix all of these issues here, but ultimately, the Cowboys are the lowest paid coaching staff in the National Football League. They're paying Mike McCarthy $4 million. Bill Belichick just got a check for $10 million APY. Why would they sit back and say, well, let's go and get a Ben Johnson who's requesting 15 to 20 million, right? If you look at what Andy Reid is making, anywhere between 21 and 25 million. Hey, the defensive coordinator there, Spags, is making about 8 to 9 million, right? So when we start talking about money, the Cowboys just don't want to spend, and that's with the cap or without the cap, because there's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. But when you have an owner like Jerry Jones and his son that's running this like a mom and pop's a business, family business, they don't care. They don't care about the results. The bottom line is always the money. They lead with the money every time Stephen Jones say, we don't have the money. We don't have the resources. When other teams figure out ways to hire the brightest minds to pull the money together so that they can get the players. They don't wait and hold players' feet to the fire and pay players at the last minute, top dollar amount, right? It's better to get in front of the contract before the end of life of the contracts. That's contracting 101. And unfortunately, the Jones family don't care enough. So, yeah, you bring back Mike McCarthy. We can lean on the fact that, yeah, he went 3 years, 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. There would still be water carriers to say, hey, for Mike McCarthy, that's not a bad thing. Just like there were many for even Jason Garrett, by the way. Because I said this earlier today. How many losing seasons did Jason Garrett have? Oh, they only came when the starting quarterback was down, by the way. The same could be said with Mike McCarthy. He's a plus 2 or 3 games ahead of Jason Garrett at this point. They have the same amount in the last 10 years of playoff wins, right? With this team. 1, by the way. So we can move heaven and earth for these type of things, but it will be still the same with the Joneses family. Unfortunately, these philosophies are hard philosophies that will not change until Jerry Jones, unfortunately, see the dirt, taste the dirt, etc., right? And the craziest thing of it all, it may be more of the same, even with Stephen Jones, because he's even more of a penny pincher than Jerry. And as old and gray as Jerry is, there's still literally 20 to maybe 25 years between the two. So this could be another 20 to 25 years of the same insane thing to happen when Stephen Jones run this organization and franchise. Now, we still be Cowboy fans. Believe it or not, as old and gray as they are, I was a Cowboy fan before they bought the team, right? I got a chance to see every blade of gray hair grow on their head. So it's going to be more of the same, unfortunately. We just got to get behind this team and hope to pray to God, Allah, Yahweh, Elohim, that this Cowboys team can find a way to draft a guy that can be a difference maker out of these 10 draft picks to be the difference maker for this particular team going into the 2025 season. Because if not, they're going to go into the bottom of the barrels and hope that they can pull somebody out to be a difference maker on defense or offense and bring back Mike McCarthy, who's past happy as he is. Now, I love being in this situation because now Mike McCarthy just proved us wrong. But Mike McCarthy, All I'm saying is, shoot, you got the gun in your hand now, bro. You know, they don't want to spend money, and you ain't taking a lot of money. So bang on the table for the guys that you really want. Do that for us. At least we deserve that. But don't lie to kick it. Don't lie to kick it to us. Cowboy Nation, post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's get it, Cowboy Nation. It's just a terrible world that we live in with the Cowboys. Because they don't care. They definitely don't care. And they know, just like my guy Kevin Gray said, we're addicted to it. Come on. Let's get it. All right. Until next time.
What more do you want from me?
We out.